Here we go. Here we go. Marcus, I don't want you to steal my music here. All right. Good evening to each and every one of you, and welcome to everybody. We're still in the Leo season, so there's people celebrating birthdays. And let me say right now, my very, very good friend, one of the last living members of the Dells, Mr. Vern Allison Sr., is celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to you, my brother. I hope that you see this and you know that we still love you, and we'll be talking soon. But Leo season here, Tracy's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Tracy, who was with us last week at my birthday party in the studio. So it's Leo season, and all Leos, again, happy birthday to you. We have a very exciting gentleman that's with us this evening. You guys, if you follow me on Facebook, you heard me talk about it or you saw me talk about it. This is Mr. Marcus Williams, and he is the son of a legend, but he carved his own path. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight with him. And we're going to cross over into his legendary mother, who is Miss Candi Staton. Marcus, good to have you, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Great. Feeling good. Thinking good.
Well, it's good to have you, my brother. I'm looking at that gold record back there on the wall. I'm looking like you've been working a little bit, man.
Yeah, just on the wall. It ain't mine. I found it by a garbage can dumpster. Somebody got rid of it. It's Frankie.
Wow. Isn't that something? That
Yeah.
is awesome. That is all. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But Marcus, again, it's great to have you. You and I had a little bit of conversation, talking about growing up with mom on the road. Let's talk, if you would, get us started, because one of the things that I say here, and my panel agrees with me, what we talk about here, you're not going to find on the insert of a CD or the back of an album. This is stuff that you actually lived, breathed, saw, did, and what have you. Tell us how you got started with mom and what you've learned, going with her on the road. And the road is the tough place.
Yeah, that's a very tough place. Uh, First of all, I started out with her just listening to the bands rehearse. So I wanted to play drums. I'd just be watching the drummer, and they'd be in the garage. They wasn't in no fancy place. They'd come and be in the garage just like everybody else, and I'm listening to them, and they would start playing one of the song, and we would, as kids, would just look at each other and just giggle. It just made us giggle because it sounds like the record. It sounds like they're playing it. It's like I can't believe it, right? So I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden I would just be looking at the drums, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Play the drums, play the drums. And then my brother wanted to play bass, so he's a really great bass player too. It's Marcel Williams, and
Okay.
and so it started doing that, and then we'd go to some of the shows and see him on the acts. We'd be back with people like Tails and the Manhattans and all kind of folks. But back in that day, we was on shows. She was on shows with BB King and Bobby Bland, and
Mm.
I mean, yeah, just that was great. Every time I would go out with her, I just wanted to go with her on the weekends. Sometimes I just go on the weekends, and I just be watching the drummer, and I'd be like, wow. So I was about 9 or 10, but I didn't get a drum set. I kept begging for a drum set for years. I turned down all kind of merchandise just so I could say, I want a bicycle. You just save that and put it toward my drum set. But that went on until I got 16. I turned 16, and then she got me a set. And then about a year later, I taught myself. But a year later, I was playing with her other drummers. It was two of us on stage, so I was just like on there doing my thing with him. It was Vernon Cooper. But before she got me a kid, I used to just go out with her, and they would. I'd be down there going through this what they call the chitlin circuit, We
Right.
ride all night. Sometimes we had to ride from Mississippi to to St. Louis or somewhere, get there and play. And then after the show, get in the car and have to drive down somewhere else about 12 or 13 hours. And then you had to be careful how you drove and when you drove, because going through some of these places, you don't know what you was going to run into with police and prejudiced folks, that didn't like
Yeah.
us. I recall my mother telling me about when the police stopped the bus, which had Lou Rawls and it had I think is Aretha, Mavis Staples, Sam Cooke, all of these people on this bus. They get stopped, and in the middle of the night down near Mississippi, you're a singing group, okay, and they just humiliated the men and
Yeah.
felt on all the women and made them dance and sing in the middle of the street with
Yeah.
guns out on them. So all that kind of stuff they had to endure to get. These folks endured this glass night, and all of the folks, just what we're seeing now, the freedoms that we have now in the music business. These people really paved the way and endured a lot of crazy stuff, being spit on and just really
Yeah.
humiliated
Yeah.
at night. So you had to know when to travel, according to what part of the country you're in. But
Okay.
in the chitlin circuit, which mostly in the South, um, you had to be careful there too, because you had folks back in the woods. You go back 20 miles on a dirt road, and then you all of a sudden come to this shack that might hold 150, 200 people, and these people come from all these different counties.
Right.
And the thing was, they knew you didn't know anybody back there, the promoters. So they would either run off while you're doing the show, or if they pay you, if you demanded your money before and they pay you, then a lot of them would have somebody else set up to rob you later on that evening
Wow.
after you leave and after everybody's gone. So that's when I became the little bodyguard, hitman, money man kind of thing. Like 11 years old, right? 11, 12 years old. So I had a pistol, and I would have, $5,000 in my I had a little silver suit, which was, it was, I had my
Yeah.
little silver suit. I had a little 38 snub nose and the money in my coat. And they would never think that the kid has the money and everything. So they
That's
come up and
awesome.
grab the stuff and leave, and we'd have the money and be gone still.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I wanna thank you, Marcus. I'm gonna back out and let everybody else get in here, but I want to thank you for sharing that. And maybe throughout the rest of the time that we're here, somebody else is going to touch on that. Those are the very, very interesting stories. As you and I have talked about, you pay 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever it is, dollars to go see a show. And you go sit in your chair, you see the show for 2 hours, hour and a half, whatever it is, and then you go home. You have no idea what the actual artist has went through in preparation to get there. And I'm very familiar about the non-payment type situation. I'm going to share this one story with you, and then I'm going to get out of here. I'm not get out of here, but I'm going to back out. My good friend Solomon Burke, bless his heart, he's gone on now, but he shared a story with him, Lou Rawls, Sam Cooke, and Joe Tex were coming from, I think, Alabama, going to someplace else, and they got pulled over. And they made, just like the movie, what was that? Five Heartbeats. How
Mm-hmm.
they pulled them out and they made them sing to them. You know, uh, Solomon told me that Sam Cooke never got over that. He hated, and
Yeah.
that's the word he used. He hated every since, everybody after that. It was a very, very tough and ugly type situation. Let me back out of here. Let me get somebody else in here and talk with Drew. I'm gonna hold on. Let me get your mic on, Drew. Come on in, Drew.
Hey, Marcus, I'm Drew, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And man, you've already shared some amazing stories. I mean, you packing a pistol as a teenager. Oh my goodness. Wow. But I understand that was necessary.
Oh
You
yeah.
mentioned the Chitlin circuit. Okay. Did did any of this shady stuff happen once your mom became a star, a superstar? Did that still happen, or did it cease a little bit?
It happened in a different degree,
Yeah.
you
How
know,
so?
because these people were bigger companies,
Wow.
bigger money, but then it became a way of getting over on you with contracts. So
Ah,
you sign a contract, they think you, okay, you're with us now, this big huge label, and we're gonna do this and this and blah blah blah. And then nobody know about the business of music and these contracts at back in those days. So like if you seen Cadillac records, they'd buy you a car, a Cadillac, and give you this. And then, oh, this is on this saying that, oh, we're going to do this, but it's not, it's saying more than that. But oh, yeah, oh, that's only so and so and so. And that means, we'll collect this and you'll get paid so and so. But it all was, they were giving you stuff and taking it away in all of in the rest of the contract. So you never got the money you was deserved. You would, to get paid everything that they do for you. um we're gonna um we're gonna throw this party for you, and everybody's gonna be there, and all of the executives and stuff, and you're gonna come, we're gonna rent you a limousine and blah blah blah. But that goes on your bill as they spent $150,000 that they say you owe them, when they
Right.
say, well, we're doing this promotion on you and we're going to fly you to Vegas and we're going to do this, and that goes on your bill, your hotel. We're gonna put you in a presidential suite and so and so, and but they inflate the bill too.
Right.
They
Right.
inflate it, and then you never get out of debt, and you never get any money from them.
Good question, Drew. Good question. Professor, come on in, would you please?
Hi, Marcus.
Uh,
Thank you for being with us this evening. They call me Professor.
okay.
And what is the best piece of advice another musician ever gave you?
The best piece of advice that I've been given to me by other musicians is your reputation is gold. You could
Ooh.
you could be able to outplay somebody else, but if you can't be on time, if you can't learn the music, if you don't listen what's going on, if you don't know, if you act crazy and get drunk and act a fool and getting in fights, or anything you do that's not professional, that's that's the best advice that he gave me. He's like, always, when you're behind a vocalist or anybody that's leading, listen at the whole band, listen at you're a part of an engine of music. Everybody got a part, just like an engine, and one part can't be doing this other thing, or the engine will be just, you need a tune. You need a tune up because it's not running smooth.
Right.
Engine got to be, so when it's idling, it's cool, everything's cool. When it's time to run and push it, it gets pushed, and everybody's together. Everybody compliments everyone. So it's like, just keep your reputation. I get a lot of people say, man, you're a legend, man. I was like, I didn't seek to become a legend. I said, I just wanted to be a great musician. All I did was do my job. That's
Okay.
all. I said, if you do your job and you do it right, learn what you need to learn. I tell young musicians, I say, okay, when you go into an audition, don't go in there. It's not about you. You could play drums. You probably could just tear the skins off of drums. But if you playing with Denise Williams or somebody, she don't want all of that. She
Right.
want she wants you to play, I just want to be free, holding that groove.
Right.
But they get in there. Don't go in there doing that. It's not about you. Go there and play the song. Learn the song. Learn the record. Even try to
Okay.
do everything just like the record. Play with the record, so you can get a feel of how it was playing with those musicians. I used to do that all the time. I would set up these same big speakers that my mother would use for her sound. You had to carry your own sound system when you went to these places too. And I would set it up, and I would just play along with all of this stuff. Curtis Mayfield. I mean, I would play with Rufus Chaka Khan. I played their records, the whole record. And I knew all of their stuff. So when you go in there, play the record. If they want you to give them more in certain areas, you have the ability to give them more. It's
Right,
like
right,
over salting your food, over seasoning your food. You can't take that back.
right,
You
right.
got to give it to them, and they say right in here. Yeah, I want you to really bring it at this part right near the end. We want to make that, and you do it, and they go, "Oh God, yes!" And
Okay,
they recommend you, and other musicians recommend you for a gig. You come prepared. You do what you're supposed to do. You got a great attitude. I tell guys all the time, don't accept a gig for $75 and then complain about it.
right.
You accept, don't even accept it if you're going to complain. If you
Makes
accept
sense.
it for $75, $25, or $10 or free, play it like you getting what $1,000,000. Play it, do the best that you can, because you don't know who's sitting out there that can do something for you. And you poison the rest of the band when you start. Hey, yeah, we had rehearsing, and they ain't paying me enough to do all this. I was like, come on, man. You just
That's good advice, my brother. That's good advice. Very good question there, Professor. Professor, I don't know if you know it or not. We can hear you, but we can't see you. Come on in, Restful Spirit.
Yes. Hi, Marcus. How are you?
I'm great.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Um, they say music is like a storytelling medium. Okay, it's more than just a sound. It's like a form of expression
Yeah.
and a way to preserve emotions that words fail to capture. In a song. So, how do your drums help tell the story in a song?
Well, if you think about it, so if you're listening to a song and it's really beautiful and it's really soft, and when the drums are doing this or adding their little flavors to this softness, they're not banging it. It you have to, I think, experience life experiences, sadness, happiness. You have to tap into that when you have a song like that. When you have a song that's more joyous and peppy, like because I'm happy, that's, you got to have that kind of spirit when you playing it. So what you feel and how you do it is the way people, they feel it. You feel stuff. It's songs right now that you hadn't heard, that you could hear, that can come on, and when you were 12 years old, if that song did something, can remember exactly what you were
Yeah,
doing when that
yeah,
song came over, who you had a crush on.
yeah.
Who, oh, we were at a wild party. I remember they were drag racing that night, and so that's one of my songs. It's
Yeah,
all about that. That's why real music takes you back. It's a spiritual thing. It's spirit. It that's what it is. I can write a love song. If you write a love song, it's got to feel like you've experienced love.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I can't I can't tell anybody about crack or anything else if I hadn't experienced crack.
Okay,
I experienced love, I experienced heartache, I've experienced anything that these songs are portraying. Like can't nobody love you better. That's the groove of the song, and you have to imply that, and it's like a drummer has to know everybody's part.
right.
It's like you got to know everyone's part, and you got to know where you fit in to make that whole unit sound right. If
Okay.
you, if I'm sure you've been to shows where it's been like, yes, they were pretty good, but I don't know that something they was too loud, and it was so and so, it was doing too much, you know.
Okay.
But when you went to a see, like you could look, I like Luther Vandross a lot, and the way he would do things, he would he would just, everybody would play so simple, and he would do his thing, and you just felt everything that they did when he said, keep it right there," and
Okay.
everybody just playing, and you just like, oh yes. So
Oh man.
it's like it's a music. I relate music a lot to cooking.
Okay.
I relate it
Okay.
to cooking because if you when you season stuff and you have to put the right ingredients to too much nutmeg and this can be like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's too.
Yeah.
But when you
Yeah.
got the right amount of everything going, you'll be like, that was so good.
Yeah, 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 that's right. And the point that you made earlier, a good question there, Restful. The point that you made earlier, once you put too much in it, you can't take it out. You know
You,
what I mean? It's too bad. Yeah,
right.
it's too late. Too
Yeah.
late.
Like
If
they
you would, Marcus, tell us a little bit. I know that you spent time with Tyler Perry, with Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Tell us a little bit about that and your role in that, if you would, please.
yeah, I remember we were out doing I think it was Muddy gets goes to jail. Muddy goes to jail. We was doing that and Tyler was like, I'm finna do a movie. I was like, what? Yeah, we can do a movie. He's like, yeah, and y'all gonna be in it. Y'all gonna be the band, and y'all gonna do all of this stuff. And he told us about it, and we went to the set, and we went in the studio too to record all the music in there. Uh, he gave us our own. We had our own. We felt so good. We had our own truck with our little band name on it. First movie, we in a movie, right? And got a chance to hang out with all the stars and be a part of that because he was so hot at the time. Uh,
Okay.
Diary was a we had a great time making it, man. It was I hadn't been in a lot of movies, so I had to kind of learn this kind of movie etiquette thing. He was learning too with his stuff, but we did that, and the movie came out, and we never knew it would. They would show it every weekend or something. All the time.
Well, that's
Yeah,
a good brother because the checks keep coming in, don't they?
yeah. So it's good. And then I still play with Chandra Corelli in Chandra's place. I just
Okay.
did shows with her. Matter of fact, I've written a song that she's gonna come out with. We're doing together. The that she's singing on. I got a couple of songs she's doing, and
Okay.
yeah, and this
Okay.
one called "Respect This Love." Respect.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool.
yeah. So but that was good times back in those days, man. Just
Okay. All right. Drew, come on in, Drew. Let me unmute you here. Go ahead, Drew. Wait a minute. There you go. Go ahead, Drew.
Okay. Marcus, I see two of your hands, but everything that you're doing, producing or writing, arranging, mixing, mastering. I mean, you should be an octopus. You should have tentacles, man.
yeah,
But I admire you for all the work you do. You mentioned your brother earlier, Marcel. I think he's a bass player. Are you still working with him, or is he doing other things separate
yeah.
from you?
We have we're working on a project together called the M&M Project. And so we're getting songs together for that too. Yeah, so
Okay.
he's I mean Marcel, he he was all into that funk, back in the day. He could do stuff that Louis Johnson and all of that. So he's still bad bass player, but he got married, had kids, he started working regular jobs and kind of went out away from it, but he still can play. He's bad. And
Is he touring with anybody now, or he's
no,
just laying back? Okay.
yeah, I did actually. We did a show about on August the 2nd in Alabama in our hometown, and he played with me, and I had took a band there, and we did it. They have a thing called Colony Day every year, and they never had a band, so they called me. It's like, Mark, we want? I said, I put a band together and come down there. We went down there and tore it up.
Right.
Just tore it up down there because a lot of my family and people and relatives, that's where my mother's from. That's where
Right.
we grew up. That's where she was born. So they'd never really seen us play like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were just like, man, I never knew y'all could play it like that. My
Wow.
uncle has never seen me play drums like that. He was there and he was like, You know, yo. Like,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Good question, Drew. Good question. Let me move over to Restful Spirit. Come on, Restful.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. Let's when you're creating a track, does the title come first or last? And do you keep a list of potential titles and match them, with your songs later?
That's a good question, babe.
Oh, it comes in all kind of ways. I got
Hmm.
this song. What is that? It's called Doop Doop Ba Doop. And because I named it that because I kept hearing this thing going doop boom 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 boom, and it was doing this thing, and I did a whole song behind it. Started this groove, and I came up with this groove behind. And I was driving. Like a lot of times, I'm driving when I hear stuff. It's like if I'm listening to stuff on the radio, after the song goes off, something comes over me to what would be a good groove, and I cut the radio off, and I start hearing this stuff, and I start putting it in my phone, and then when I'm doing it, once I get the groove of it and start putting it down, I kind of hear what it should be named. And then I do have other songs. I have a list of song names. And then
Hmm.
I look at that list sometimes. And if I look at something and I hear something that goes with that, then I'll do it. I have one song called Autumn Memories. It's just, I was looking out the window and the leaves and the
Wow.
seasons was changing. And then,
Wow.
and this song, when you listen to it, it's just like, I could see. Because I was thinking about stuff as I was looking outside. My mind was just going places, how the winter is going to be and what we did
Okay.
last.
Okay.
I remember when I was young and it was just becoming fall and this was happening and it was a happy time. And I just named it Autumn Memories
Wow.
because,
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. That's
And,
awesome.
and one song on my album is called One Foot Funky because I was saying, you the drums don't have to do much. All it would do is go. That's all the drums do, but the song is so funky. It's like a Parliament Funkadelic jazz
Okay. Okay.
and it's called just you don't have to do a whole lot to be funky. So it's called One Foot Funky.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good question there, Restful. Good question. Um, Professor, are you still with us?
See me, I guess. I see you all and I see me, but okay.
Yeah, we got you, babe. We can hear you, babe, but I can't see you.
Oh, okay. Modern technology.
Absolutely. Don't worry about it. Let's keep moving.
All righty. What was the process like when you were making the commercials?
Um, well, which commercials?
I had it that you did a few commercials for radio and television.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've done. I used to do. If you recall, um Turner Classic Movies.
Uh huh.
So every month they had this thing called This Month on TCM, and
Right.
they would be featuring maybe Frank Sinatra or something this month, and or some one of those older uh, actors, and uh, and they would have these jazz tunes and big band stuff, and they would play. And that was me playing all that stuff. They would call me in to do all that stuff, and it went for years with me doing this month on TCM, and then I had another a company. These guys called me up to do. I think I did Dixie Cup cups. I would just go in and do these jingles. What they call them is jingles,
Yes.
Right.
and it would be like I'd do maybe a minute cut, a 30-second cut, a 15-second cut, and they would just show the stuff on the screen and tell me, and they'd have music, and I'd just play with it. Yeah, I'd go in there, and it would just take me less than a half an hour, and I'd be gone. And I'd be places and see commercials, and I'm like, that sounds familiar. And I'm like, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me on there. And like Miami subs, the I, I did some stuff for Brazil. Uh, I got stuff all over the place. Like I never knew where a lot of these jingles were going.
Right.
They just called me in there to do them, and I just do them. But it tied. Oh, it's just a lot of commercials that I did. AT&T. If you would ever recall when it was a Southern Belle, then when they used to at Christmas time, they had this Santa Claus that was like a bobblehead, and
Right.
you'd hear this jazz with the brushes, and then that was me doing all
Wow.
that. Yeah, the Atlanta Journal Constitution. They still play that over 20 something years now. It's fun doing them, and it's quick, really quick, and good money too.
There you
Yeah,
go. There
Yeah,
you go.
an hour's work, huh?
yes. But it's like some of the easiest work I did. It's almost like having when I first did my first one. Uh, it's almost like when you had your first baby. I took all these drums in there, this big old set of drums with all these cymbals. It took me a 35, 40 minutes to set up the drums. I didn't hit but three of them and was done in 15 minutes. So as time went on, when they called me, I was just coming in there with little bitty things and boom, gone. But
There
at
you
first,
go.
I was like, oh, I got this massive kit. I just want them to set it up and mic everything up. Didn't even need it. So
Well,
it's like, when you got your second kid, you be like, oh, he's fine. You be like, oh, be careful. By the third
Gotcha.
kid or so, fourth kid, put him in the room.
Gotcha.
That's great.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good question there, Professor. Good question. Let me come back to Drew. But just before I hit Drew, Marcus, share with us, if you would, one of the more disappointing situations traveling with mom and something that you learned from to put in your own pocket and make yourself better. Tell us one, if you would.
Let's see, a disappointing. Hmm. Um, it has been a lot. Oh, one of the things. Well, this is. I mean, we did a show in Texas. I think it was Tyler, Texas, and it was one of those kind of back in the woods. The funny thing, one thing I recall, everybody was Earl Campbell's cousin. Everybody was Earl Campbell's cousin. I was like, what is football players? Everybody your cousin. And so, but we played in this place, and there was hardly no one in there. No one. We did the show and to a few, but they were going to have a disco afterwards, and the crowds were around the building, were down the street, and the the well, the guy that owned the club just said he wasn't going to pay us, and because the people didn't come in, and so my brother and I, I was older, but still had that gangster mentality. I protect my mom. So the first thing after that, we're sitting there. Mom was just frustrated. We're packing up, and then they come and tell us that, oh, he said he's not going to pay us. So we're packing up, and then they start letting the people in, and so this one guy comes up to my mother, and he just asked her something, and then his girlfriend come up there like he's going to fight her, like she's going to fight her. And you talking to her, and who you think you is, and so I step in and said, I think it'd be better for you guys to just. This is my mother, and I think it'd be better. You need to take your girlfriend or whatever and go, because this ain't gonna end right. If you don't. And my brother came up and was like, we went through that for a second. They left. They went on about their business. But then, I think after they told us that he wasn't going to pay us, he wasn't going to pay us. So I said, okay. So me and my brother stole all the sound system and put it in the thing, and we went to Dallas.
Wow.
I said, you going to pay us?
Wow.
You going to pay us tonight? And yeah, that it was disappointing because of the way they treated her and
Yeah.
what she
Yeah.
had to endure, and she wanted to give her best to people, going through. And we had traveled all night, and we had to travel again to get to Dallas for
Right.
another show. And
Mm.
I think we traveled. We were so tired,
I
and
got you.
for them to treat us like that and treat her like that, it just
Right.
that it made me really think. What is she doing this for?
Right. Right.
But she loved
Well,
it.
you know what, Marcus, and I want to say this, and then we're gonna move. I'm gonna move to Drew. Certainly, I'm not upholding what you did, but now after you've explained it and set the situation up, it's understandable. Plus, we're looking at the times that you was in and the part of the country that
Yeah,
you was in as well.
yeah,
So it's understandable. But again, and I just want to reiterate this, not beat a dead horse. These are the things that this panel and our listeners want to know about. The
right,
different things that happen that we would never know about if you didn't tell us about it. You
right.
know what I mean?
And
Come
that,
on in, Drew.
Okay. Yeah, Marcus. Uh, as far as working and producing other artists, I see here you work with Peabo Bryson, Isaac Hayes, the Pointer Sisters, Marion Meadows, and the list goes on and on. Out of that group, and it's probably some I haven't even mentioned, who was the easiest to work with, or who was the one that was most difficult to work with?
Good question. Good
mm,
question.
what actually the easiest person I had to work with was Isaac Hayes.
I figured you
Isaac
say that. Yeah.
Isaac Hayes, that was my dude. And he always called me his drummer. You like, where my drummer Marcus at? I said, because I would have them laughing all the time. We'd just be laughing. They'd just see me in the morning and be like, Marcus, I don't want to laugh this morning, but I can't help it. I'm sorry. But yeah, Ike, man, he had this um, wonderful spirit about him. He said, it's the first situation I've ever been in where an artist says, Marcus, I pay everybody, no matter what job you do, the same salary. He said, I don't want nobody to have any conflicts about money. And then Ike he would just do rehearsals. If we had 2 or 3 days off, they weren't rehearsals. He'd just get a place and have food and we get in there and be jamming. And he'd be like I started doing something on the drums. He'd like, hey, Mark, keep that right there. And he was writing music.
Okay.
And we just do that. And he'd pay us like $300 a rehearsal. So I'd make an extra $900 just eating and playing drums. And sometime I would go up to him and I said, hey, Ike, we off about 3 or 4 days next week. I think we need to rehearse. He's like, yeah, Mark, yeah, we're going to rehearse. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, he was it's no problems, just
That's awesome.
everything just ran smooth. Every year, your accommodations, there was never any, looking for your money, and everything was just great.
Cool.
It was great.
So, on the other end of the spectrum, who was the most difficult or challenging to work with in that regard?
Okay, let's see. So I've done George Howard. George Howard could be difficult. I played with him. Well, yeah, he would be difficult. I remember one time we were playing the Blue Note in Chicago, and GRP Records was there. So the first night we played, it was a little small place, and he was I want y'all to tomorrow night, he said, I want y'all to really come out and play, just really play. So I did when it came to my solo, I did this solo, and everybody, the record label was there, GRP Records was there. I did this solo, and everybody, I got a standing ovation off this solo. And I don't know what that did to him, but the next night he was up there and he was grabbing my cymbal, holding it, and then talking about just saying stuff over the mic. I'm like, what is all of this about? And I don't. That's when he was getting sick too. So maybe some of that had something to do with it. But he had that. George had a thing. He would try you. He would test you just to see how far you could go. And I couldn't go too far. Because so we were playing, and after we played, so it's in January in New York City, 2 o'clock in the morning. We done played the Blue Note, so we got to go outside and hail a cab to get back to the hotel. So we freezing. It's down like 4 degrees, 3 degrees in New York. So we're sitting out there, me, him, and the bass player, and no cabs would stop because they don't pick up black people at certain times in the morning because they get out and run and they won't pay the fare. This is in the 90s, and so no cab was stopping. I'm freezing. So all of a sudden I did, and one cab stopped and pulled over, and I got in the car and went over to the other side so they can get in. And he's standing outside looking at me, talking to the bass player like, "You see this? Like I'm supposed to let him in, so he can get in first."
Wow.
And I said, if you was that important, you'd have a car for us. We wouldn't have to hail a cab. And I said, if you don't get in this car, y'all gonna be here, staying here. I'm going to go to the hotel, and I'm gonna tell them to leave. And they got in the car. So
Wow.
George
He was a great saxophone player, but man, I didn't realize he could be a diva like that.
And George was, but I think he's from Philly too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he from Philly?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sure.
he had a thing, man. He had a thing on him, but he would test you. It was just part of his thing. He would just test you.
Good story, man. Good story. Great question there.
Yeah.
Great question. Good story. Good story. Well, yeah, Restful. Come on in, baby doll.
Yes. Is there a particular song of your mother's that resonates with you on a deeper level, either as a musician or as her son?
Good question.
It's well, when she first started in her music in the music business, I wasn't with her. She was married to my father. My father had put us out in the middle of the night in the cold, and my grandparents had to come pick us up. And we are on the back of a truck going to where the colony where she's from, and in the winter. And so she didn't have the money to keep all her kids together, so she kind of let some of our other relatives, aunts and people keep us, because we moved to Cleveland, Ohio. She moved to Cleveland, and so while she was up there, she was doing nursing and some other little stuff. We was living in real bad part of town. Some of our relatives was in that part of town, so when things started happening, she couldn't keep us together, so she let me stay with. Asked some of our other people, can I stay with them? And they said, yeah, he could stay with us. And she said, I got to get myself together, and just spread us out all over the place. And so she let's see, when she got to playing, her first record came out. They were like, your mother, she's on the radio. I'd rather be a whole man sweetheart than a young man fool. And mom got me, she would send me little cassettes, and she sent me a cassette player, and I had this big old cassette player, and I had her stuff, and I would play it all the time. And she had this one song that it was called "So Blue Without You," and I used to sing that song all the time because the situation I was in. They wanted to keep me. They didn't want to give me back, and didn't want me to call her mama. I was forbidden to call her mama. I had to call her Candy when she called me. And so my brother, those songs kept me going. I used to just listen to my mother's her whole thing all the time. So Blue would just I just listen to that and think about home. And I didn't know how I was going to get away from there. And so my brother Marcel is kind of like, he get in everything. I was kind of quiet, but and just disrupted everything. And then he was calling back home, mama, they got him doing everything up here. He's sweeping the floor and washing dishes and cleaning fish and doing everything at his little young age. They just working to death, mama, and they blah 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 blah. And so she decided that she was gonna get me. And one morning, I was getting up to go to school, and my cousin called me like, Marcus, meet me down in at the corner. Bring your stuff. We finna take you. We finna send you home. And I went down there, and by the time they got back from work, I was in Alabama, in Montgomery, and
Wow.
they called up and told her, and that was so that one song kind of kept me connected to them.
That's
Yeah.
a great story, Marcus. That's a great story. Good question there, Russell. That's a great story, man. And your mom shared the night that she was put out and with you guys and going to your grandmother's house. She shared that with us when we talked.
Mm-hmm.
And the story about New York. I just want to jump back if I could before I come to the professor about Ike. When we had the Hot Buttered and Soul, when we had them on, and you know that what's her name? Man, she just died not too long ago. The lead singer, oh, not Patty. Oh man, I just forgot her name. But anyway, Hot Butter and Soul, the backup group for Ike.
Uh-huh.
They shared the same thing. Oh man, I can't think. Professor, what's the name? What's the young lady's name that just passed away? Professor. All right. Anyway, I'll dig it up. But we had them on, and they shared the same type of sentiments that the type of person that Ike was. You know what I mean? And when I talked to his daughter, we had a daughter on, same type, very easygoing, but definitely a master at his work.
Yeah.
I think I first discovered Ike in the Soul Children's song, The Sweeter He Is, Part 1 and Part 2, where he was playing the piano. I had to investigate to find out who was playing that piano. That's how I found it was Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, what a dude. What a dude, man. Professor may not be with us. Oh, there she is. Professor, are you there?
Yes, I am. What's her name, Ann?
Say it again.
What's her name, Ann?
No, Ann doesn't sound right. But it was two sisters, and
Right.
she took Martha Reed's, well, not Martha Reed's place, but she sang with the Vandellas, with the original Vandellas, substituting for Martha. It'll come to me in a few minutes. I'll look it up while you're asking your question. Go ahead.
Okay. Is there anyone?
Pat Lewis. That's who it was. Pat Lewis.
Right. I knew it was 3 letters.
Yeah.
Is there any one thing or group of things that you feel are primarily responsible for your success?
Yeah, it is. One is the love of music and the love of drums. That had a lot to do. You got to have a passion for something if you're gonna do it, or you're not.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, well, if I take some lessons, that's like if you making your kid take lessons instead of them begging you to do something, that's different. It's nothing that anybody on this earth that they really wanted to do. They put their all into it. They will do it. You don't have to ask them. You don't have to tell them. I got thrown out of the house because when I come through the door, Mama, I'd hear, I don't want to hear no drums. So I was like, okay. So, and actually, there's a story behind that too. I learned how to play soft, just so she was my alarm. So I learned how to do stuff when it got too loud. I'd hear the floor stomp, boom, boom.
Okay.
So, matter of fact, later on in life, I won the drummer contest of the quietest drummer around.
Ooh.
Wow.
Best drum solo, the quietest.
Okay.
Did it, and I won like $1,000 snare drum from the NAMM show out in California. But yeah, Mom, that being influenced by her and seeing them rehearse and learning the ins and out of music, seeing the good and the bad of every aspect of things that a lot of people don't get a chance to see because they're not privy to what I was privy to, just
right.
Well, you got Luther Vandross in there, your kitchen eating your potato salad. Woo! You got, you know what I'm saying? It's like it was nothing to me then. Well, when he came, he wasn't Luther Vandross that we knew, but he was that Luther Vandross. He was doing all kind of stuff. He was that he told us that day when he was there, said, "Oh, I got a record coming out and so and so." And the next summer, da, 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 and that was
Okay.
being around those professionals. Being around professionals. If you wanted to be a doctor and you was around all of these mugs doing all of this, you get you a grasshopper and take the toes off, and then get you a couple of oak tree leaves and ball them and spit them and you have a headache. But if you were around the insiders of the top doctors and medical people that you growing up in that family and you learn the real ins and out of that and you have a love for it, you get a certain discipline and a certain thing
Yes.
that you want to be the best at it. And whatever it takes, the best way, not ripping people off. I'm gonna be a doctor, just like I'm gonna do this is to make all this money. No, I wanted to be a drummer when I play because I remember the feeling I would have when I go to a show. See James Brown and these people come out, and the way they used to come out back in the day, and they'd come out and they'd be working, and the drummer would just be back there working and stuff just moving and the just so alive, and I'm just sitting there going, yes. And I wanted that. I wanted it, and I wanted to do it like they did it, like I'm looking at the pros do it. I wanted to be able to record, because it's a difference in recording and playing live and entertaining people.
Right.
A different kind of thing you can't do and play like you do in a studio as you would do on a live thing.
Exactly.
So my mother would come back, she'd be doing her albums and she'd be saying, listen at him. And the drummer would just be keeping the beat. He would just do things, but it was so tasteful and just grooved and made the run. And what really messed me up, she came back one time and she's like, the drummer playing this is 18 years old. I said, what?
Yeah.
And I really listened to it. And I learned to play stuff. I learned to listen to people that had a touch and had taste. So you have to know when to have taste. You have to know when to be aggressive. You have to know when to be loud and soft. That just don't come with you just sitting on the drums and start playing. That comes with experience and knowing why you have to be. If you listen to what's going on, you know how to be.
Right. You said earlier, learning the music.
Right. So if you're playing a love song, you don't, when you're talking to somebody and you love each other, you're not going, and baby, what you think I want to do? I love you. No, you get soft and you get tender and you pay attention to all details and you connect. And that's all music is. It's connecting to these feelings that people have. That's why records and music touch people so much. Gospel stuff, when you have people that's really playing for what this song is talking about, you can feel it. That's why folks cry.
Very well put, Marcus. That's very well put, my brother. Very well put. Good question there, Professor, but very well put. Listen, this is the bad time of the day when we always got to say goodbye. So we're going to go around and get our goodbyes, and I'm going to start off with Drew. Go ahead, Drew.
Marcus, thank you so very much for joining us. I enjoyed this conversation immensely. You have to come back for a part 2 because you have plenty of stories, even more. I look forward to having you back on again. Pleasure meeting you, sir.
Good meeting you too, all of you.
Thank you.
Nice one there, Drew. Hold on, Russell. Go ahead, baby doll.
Yes, Marcus, thank you again for unpacking the stories behind the music. And I know that the listeners will walk away inspired. Thank you again for sharing your journey with us.
Oh, you're very welcome. And that's part of being, you have to pass stuff along and let people know. I mean, we got to stop being crabs in a barrel and I got this and this is me. No, I will share anything that I know with anybody. can't take it with me, but it only empowers us to get other people to give you this knowledge so these other folks and musicians and engineers can take it and go further with it. So that's what happened with me, because the Prince drummer John Blackwell was my student. He is the longest. He played with Prince the longest of any drummer he had, and the things that I showed him and with Ronald and all of these people, my own techniques. Nobody taught that it came from me, and it came from me loving what I do and want to be my own individual person and come up with stuff, not just play the same thing that everybody else is playing.
Right.
I would show people, and we have to pass this along to generations, and generations that came up need to hear about what was going on, what people went through to get where they are.
Very well put. Very well put. Come on in, Professor.
We appreciate you taking the time out to spend with us for this last hour or so. It has been very enlightening, and the nice thing is to see it from someone who grew up around a lot of stars and different things that other people didn't have those experiences. Right. So thanks for sharing all of that with us and being here. And tell your mother hello.
I definitely will. We laugh. We sit and laugh and talk for hours on the phone. Mama, we just crack each other up.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yes, we just crack each other up. So.
That's a great relationship that you have, and I could tell that prior to talking to you, just by talking to Mom, how she feels about you and what have you. Now, when you tell her that we said hello, Marcus, please tell her that when she's coming this way to see Gloria Gaynor, she's got to call me. Tell her, give me a call. So,
I told her.
Yeah, we have lunch or something rather, because it ain't really that far, and I'm sure that Drew and Restful and the professor, we can all, hang out, get a hot dog or something, some bread, the peanut butter and jelly or something. I don't know anything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Marcus, I want to tell you, and I'm gonna have to echo what Drew said. We've got to have you come back, because I know that there's stories we haven't even scratched the surface that you would be more than glad to share with us about Mom, about the business, about you, and what have you. We didn't talk about the Daz band. We didn't talk about the SOS band. We didn't talk about any of those things that we didn't get the chance to, because once we get started and you start unpeeling some of those layers of the onions that you've been carrying around, it's just a great thing, man. It really, really is. So I want to say to you, and I tip my hat to you on behalf of Music Lovers Ltd. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us, and we will be in touch soon to have you come back and see if we can set a schedule where you can come back.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm telling you, it's a lot. When you get it, I play with 117 artists, and that's a lot of stories.
Well, we definitely got to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Mr. Marcus Williams, again, who is the son of the legend, Miss Candi Staton, but he has made his own mark in this musical business. Obviously, as you heard, Isaac Hayes, Tyler Perry, and so forth and so on, and this, that, and the other. So he's made his own mark. So we're going to have him come back and hang out with us a little bit at his convenience whenever we can put it together. Everybody, have a great weekend. Be sure and stay tuned at 10 o'clock on WPPM 106.5 FM or phillycam.org. Yours truly, the radio station, from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. Great oldies, great music. Be sure and stay tuned and listen to it, if you will. Next Friday, I get excited like this now, but next Friday at this time on our podcast, we're going to have Mr. Glenn Leonard Sr. and Mr. Glenn Leonard Jr. Glenn Leonard Sr., of course, sang with the Temptations. Glenn Leonard Jr. sings with the Paul Williams Temptations. So we're going to have two Temptations on the phone with us, talking with us next week, and it's going to be awesome. We've got some great entertainment coming up for you, so stick tight and hang right. Again, everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. And on behalf of Music Lovers Ltd., we say good night.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you.
Everybody take care. God bless. See you now, Marcus. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye.